Yeah. Okay. I pull a few deep on my niggas, consider it's pivotal. Trap through the app, make her clap it, don't cap it, she tapping it fast. I think that you know they be catching it. Standing 6 feet up, casting a shadow of niggas that talk like they bad it. Know that we got it, they talk far from actual. I make the wave so tsunami, I dare you to paddling. The trunk steady rattling. Blowing top tier to keep my thoughts clear. I see the opt in there, I'm on my shot, call a big boss. That never know the time, I'm never clocking in. Wildflower, I'm like Denzel, I've been the men on fire. I'm hot lava, you are not scarred, you are proudly.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only
thing I took off my mum, they put me in a fucking nut house, yeah? They put me in this place called the Mulberry Bush in Oxfordshire, yeah? And there was more nastiness going on in that place than I can fucking ever remember, mate. It was like a fucking cesspit. England's worst kids, and you just throw them in a big fucking building and leave them to it. And they're all doing mad shit with each other, the staff are fucking shit. It's just a bad place, mate. And that's, yeah, horrible memories from that place. Nothing pleasant.
Man, if you ever want to go back there, I'll come with you.
Do you know what, mate? I was saying it to my missus, mate. I want to go and see it. I've looked at the place online, and you can come with, man. It'll be good.
We'll take the cameras down and we'll go through it all.
Yeah,
like do a walkthrough.
never give up, never slow till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's.
Hello everyone, today we are doing something completely different to what we normally do. Normally we're podcasting in the studio. Today we are on set. So those of you that don't or haven't seen the podcast that I've done with Anthony Roberts, he is a bank robber. In there we were talking about a care home that he was in. We agreed to go back to location, and for the first time in 28 years he's going back to the location where he was sexually abused, where he was mentally tortured and physically beaten. With this, today is a very emotional time for him. I've been on the phone to him this morning so far. He is emotional, he's sensitive, as you can imagine, going back to a place that completely horrified him for all of his life. Here we go.
Emotional, man. Oh, what's happening? Yeah, man. It's mad, mate. It's like my big brother, isn't he?
So it's been 29 years since Anthony has been back in this town where he was put into care at a young age of 6 years old. Today he's sharing with you feelings he's never unravelled before. And it's scary for me to know what you're going through. So
I feel like I need to run off. I feel like I need to run away.
Yeah, you got your long legs on,
bro. Yeah, I need to run away from it again. That's what it's like. No, then, man. Let's go.
So we're in the van. We're now heading down to the care home. Andy, how you feeling?
Funny. Yeah, I feel a bit weird, but I'm not gonna lie, but I feel a bit funny.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just take this off you. I can imagine, mate. It's just you're gonna have a whole bundle of feelings that you're probably gonna want to react. I don't know, man. Tell me.
Don't know, mate. Honestly, it's weird, isn't it? It's just like a cold nothing. You know what I mean? It's just, it's one of them ones, mate. It's just. I feel weird, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I'm coming up to this. It's not far from it now, so it's gonna be fucking dodgy when I see the gaff in it. That's. Then I'm going next door and tucking in the neighbour, innit? I'm kidding.
So we're heading off to this venue now, where we're going to be trying to get in, breach the car park if we can, because this is a house. This is a house with just like a car park that fits so many cars. So we are kind of going in, and they don't know we're going in. Yeah. So I'm sure if they was to know that we were going in and why we were going in there,
they'd be refusing.
They would refuse straight away 100%. And no doubt call the police. Yep. This is their biggest, darkest secret. And we have a person, a man, a child that has lived this all of his life in this place. He's left physically, but his mind has never left. yeah, me just thinking about that, having that feeling for you of being able to never leave, it's kind of got me like, I'm a bit stumped for words, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, that's how I feel, mate.
I feel a little bit like, what do I say in this? What do I say? I don't know what to say, because like I feel weird going, and it weren't even me. I never felt none of this, but lived in any of this. Where are you going? Where are you going?
To the
Is it off here?
exit. No, the next one, the big lorry.
Sure.
Yeah, this one there, bro.
This one.
Yeah.
Are we on it?
Yeah, bro.
We're checking sat nav as well, so having all these emotions and then trying to stay on point with this sat nav.
It's hard work, isn't it? Yeah, man. Do you know what it is? Yeah, it's just one of them things, and this right now is. I've been waiting years to do this. I wanted to come and do this years and years ago, mate. I want to go to all the places that I was at, every single care home I went to. I want to go to them all, man. To just shut that chapter down, you know what I mean? That part of your life's now over, you know what I mean? Forget about it. Move on to the next.
Can you forget about it?
I haven't been able to forget about it at all. I've been thinking about this place for years, mate, since I left. But now, I'm going back to it. I know today is going to be the ending of that thinking. I'm going to shut the door on it now. This is the part of the past where...
What made you feel like you were ready today? Like, why now?
I've been ready for a long time, to be fair with you, Paul. Since I've been doing the therapy and doing the podcasting thing, and going... Wow.
Hey, that was freaky. The stereo just come on.
So, yeah, it's like fucking...
We have no rights to that music. Yeah, man. So like, you just felt like after doing all of the therapy with what's the lady's name you've been doing?
Corinne Hutchable. She's world leader in therapy. She trains people. She's teaching my missus to become a fucking therapist. She wants me to be a therapist. She's training me as well, and yeah, lots of good things. But in order for you to heal your future, to have a good future, you need to be able to heal your demons, innit? So going back to this place, this obviously my shit started fucking 5 years before I got to this place, but this is the first institute I got put to in full time, as in I'm away from my mum and I'm in a prison now, you know what I mean? So yeah, going back to that prison 29 years later and just putting all of them horrible memories to rest.
So just a quick recap on why this place was so mentally disturbing for you for the last 29 years. What are the things that you encountered in this place?
Abuse, kids abusing kids, fucking physical abuse from adults, mental abuse, fucking just such a wide range of fucking abuses. It's unbelievable, mate. From sexual to physical to mental to fucking, it's just mad shit, mate. Like, you could imagine, yeah, you've got a boarding school full of Britain's worst kids, like the worst traumatized children in the whole of the UK came to this place that we're going to now. Like, this place was for England's no-hopers. And how can you think of a kid at 6 years of age being a no-hoper? Do you know what I'm saying? And
then taken advantage.
And then bullied, then raped, then fucking... It's just madness, mate, honestly. And this is what's doing my head in here. Do you know how many places are built just like this? Do you know how many fucking kids are going through the same shit that I went through years and years and years ago? I'm not saying the Mulberry Bush is still responsible for that shit, but mate, it's not a good place to be, man.
And this is one of the reasons why Andy's facing his demons today is just to help know kids, that a man that has been in gunfights, has been in robbing banks, been into jail, institutions his whole life, has got the balls to stand up to help other men and women speak out about what's happening to them. And like he said, his words, it's what it's all about, raising awareness and showing that you're not alone, you can speak out, and you are not weak because you're speaking out, or you do not blame yourself for what these people did to him or to you or to anyone.
You know what it is, yeah? Anyone who's been abused, if someone does something to you, it is not your fault. And this is what I'm trying to make everyone understand. If someone does something to you against your will, you never asked for that. So therefore, it's not your fault. And that person that done that to you is the one that should be carrying the shame and the blame, mate.
And that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is, to the T. Like, exactly like that, innit?
100%. Because it's not your fault, and they are weak. They're the weak ones. They're the ones that should feel bad for being paedophilic, for being bully, for being
They should be
just
shot
disgusting.
in the head. Straight up. There's no curing them. When I was in Dovegate, mate, you cannot fix some of these people, innit? I don't think you can fix anyone that's a paedophile anyway.
Was Dovegate a prison, or was Dovegate another...
Dovegate was a prison that housed sex offenders, murderers. It was a therapeutic community. It was like the mental institute of the prison system, if that makes sense, to try and make you be... to make you understand your emotions and feelings. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
To slow you down so you don't act on impulse and start stabbing somebody, or do you know what I mean? And in the case of the sex offenders, it was to try and stop them from being nonces, which I couldn't understand, because a nonce is a nonce. You can't fix that.
Yeah.
You can't fix it, mate. I've sat in rooms and listened to these animals talk in detail about how they've offended, and I've wanted to smash a chair over their head. Well, hearing it and
reliving it again in your head, because this is a trigger for something that has happened to you. Not you being the aggressor, you being the victim.
Yeah. Like, it's mad, mate. Honest to God, like, the stories that I could tell you about that place is fucking... You can't fix them. If someone's sexually aroused by rape, sexually aroused by fucking kids, then they're sick and they need to be shot. That's it. Simple as that, man. I don't agree with... There's no such thing as rehabilitation when you cross that line, mate. Done. You go to hell for that shit, and you need to be put down like an animal.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that once you have deemed yourself responsible for causing any sexual gratification or harm to a child or to a minor, you do need to be locked away and castrated.
I don't even think locking him away, that's a waste of money. You might as well just put one in there now. Be done with him.
Bring back the...
fucking bullet to the head. Bring it back.
Bring back, what do they call it?
Firing squad.
Firing squad. Oh, it's here.
It's right there. There it is. It's there. It's right there, you know. Yeah.
Sorry, man. I just went past it.
That's right.
We will get turned around now.
See what I'm saying about the field? So the place is just a big fucking field.
Yeah. So we're getting a little look. We should come down here and do the drone here.
Yeah.
So we can get the drone footage. We'll get in there and get this drone footage so you can see just how secluded this is for a 6-year-old who is trying to run away from one of the scariest places of all time.
Could you just imagine this though, Paul? Imagine a little boy, that's been through bare trauma in his whole entire life, to then just get picked up, put in a place, a proper jail for kids, and then just left there, mate. And then you go see your mum once a fucking week or something like that. But once a month you go back to mummy's house, and then you got your fucking stepdaddy beating on your mum and all that. It's mad.
Yeah, that's some madness, mate. That's madness.
See, this is like the gap here, man.
I grew up with domestic violence myself, and I remember what that feeling was like, being in a house where negativity was oxygen, and you're bred into that. Fortunate enough, I turned out okay, but that isn't without dealing with the demons beforehand. Like we said earlier on, at 6 years old, one man made a difference to how you felt for 29 years because he turned his nose up. So that negative behaviour has embedded into you for 29 years. Even as an adult, I can see the hatred in your face when you talk about this one guy, even to the point where you say, I'd like to knock on his door and smash his face in. Yeah. But because you're new people now, so we're coming up to it here now.
Coming up. It's this left.
It's this here, yeah.
Yeah, man. What a weird gaff this is going to be, mate.
Right, so we're now pulling into the road.
Mulberry Bush, look at it there, mate. I used to hide in this little bush. There's this big fort. Is it still there? The big wooden fort? No, they got rid of the fort and the pond. There used to be a big wooden fort here and a pond, and I've saved some kid out of it. I remember a kid nearly drowned in it, and I pulled him out of it.
Really?
Man, yeah, memories are coming back. Look, this is
Oh,
it here.
this is gate. It's gated.
This is here. This is it. This is it, mate. Look at that shithole.
Is that it there? Yeah.
Yeah, you see that house there? Yeah. Right, that building. Yeah. I climbed out that bottom window. That's how I broke out the gaff. I escaped from here. I'm sure you're gonna love this. Watch this, mate.
So what we'll do is we'll try and find parking.
Just park here, bruv.
Yeah, Will. Let me turn this around. Let me turn. Oh, here we
I
go.
used to climb these trees here. Yeah. See them electric lines? I used to swing off of them. Like, I'm not kidding, innit? I used to climb these trees here and swing off of these electric cables, and I used to get tingling in my fingers, mate, because the tree. I was earthed by I don't know how I didn't fucking die, mate. I used to bust them all the time, pull them down, and give everyone power cuts down here. Yeah, I was a little shit. Come, let's get out and have a look.
Yeah, there's some people coming near now, so we'll just wait for them to pass, and then we'll.
I need to get out. I need a fag.
Oh, sorry. So we've clocked a few heads already. There's some people head turning, wondering why we're here. Obviously, we stand out like a sore thumb, and emotionally, he is going through this right now. So we're going to try and get out of the car, try and get some footage and some stories if we can, without getting the home too much, because as you see just now, there's a sign that says children slow. So
do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the type of people?
yeah,
That's
literally
That's one of them prayers, you know. That's not one of them, but just the way he's talking, it's making me want to throw him in the bush, bro.
yes.
You see that I'm saying, though? Do you see what I mean? You've come here, the first person you see is a cunt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
think about that, yeah? You're 6 years old, yeah, and you're dealing with cunts like that.
Yeah, yeah. As you can tell, the mixed emotions that we've got here from just bumping into one walker by, two walker bys, that's opened up some forms. Jay, come out and come and see.
Down here now in a second, yeah? What I'll do is I'll climb all of these trees. This goes all the way down. So bear in
Spin
mind.
that round, show the trees, Jay. Is this the home that you stayed at over here? The one.
Right, see that big building in the middle, yeah? Now that building there, yeah? The dormitories are all upstairs. Yeah, you see that window there? The one on the ground floor where there's someone standing looking at us?
Yeah.
That's the kitchen. That's the window I escaped from.
Someone's standing there looking at
Yeah,
it.
look. I think there is, isn't it? Looks like it. You see the window there with the brick wall? Yeah. Right, so basically, I escaped from that window. I took the car out, and then there used to be a driveway here. You have to drive out of this building here. All of this is new. Yeah. I come down here, I was 9 years old, I stole their car, yeah. I come down here, drive up this way. We'll go up there in a minute, I'll show you where I crashed the car, yeah.
Yeah.
This place here was a cesspit, mate. The amount of child sex and abuse that went on in this place here, yeah, it needs to be documented. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be documented. Yeah? This is what you need to understand, yeah, people. Yeah. How is it? Yeah. How is it that people that look after you, yeah, understand this now? Yeah. You get put in a care home. These people that are looking after you, they're not going to write in the book, oh yeah, by the way, I raped this kid 3 times today. They're not going to do that, are they? All the paperwork I've got is from people that was looking after me. Do you understand? So these people that are looking after me, they're not going to turn around and be like, I just raped this kid today.
Yeah.
He really didn't like it, but I did it anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to write this. So
They'll probably write something. They'll probably write something like, not very
say Mr. Roberts was very aggressive
today. Yeah, not very cooperative today.
And he was a savage. That's what they used to say. They said that I was a ruthless kid because I used to attack everyone. Yeah, and like if you're being restrained, I would smash you in the face. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, it's animal instinct. Isn't it?
I would like. And
thing is, when you're dealing with walk, come around here, Jay. When you're if you walk backwards, when you are dealing with animals, your mentality is you're an animal back. Yeah. So that's like if someone's polite to you, you're going to be polite back. But how do they expect you to behave like a normal 6-year-old, 7, 8-year-old when what they're doing to you is not normal? You're being sexually assaulted, you're being aggressively attacked on a daily basis, and they expect you to be normal to society, normal behaved.
It's like, do you know what it is, yeah? It's like a wild dog, yeah? You get a dog, you put it in a cage, and you beat it, you kick it, and you be mean to it. What's that dog gonna do?
Well, 100% it's going to bite you.
Exactly, and that's what us. We're no different to dogs, mate. And that's how they treat us in there, like dogs. Like no joke, like dogs.
So how now walking past the area that you have spent a lot of your horrific time, your childhood has been here. What's it like just looking through that fence, knowing that no one can now grab you and throw you back?
I'd like to see him try. I'd like to see him try.
Yeah, me too.
You know what? You see this building here, yeah? When I run away, when I stole the
Show
car,
the building.
when I stole the car, yeah, they put me in that building. They isolated me from everyone, and they made me sleep in that building for 2 nights with members of staff. And yeah, and then they kicked me out and sent me to London. And that was it. I was gone.
So as you can see from the background that we have here, we have a singular road that is a little bit more cleaner now than what it would have been when he was younger 29 years ago. So
I'm saying about the fields.
all of this, all overgrown. There's just fields. So he would have been able to run away. Even if he did, where's he going? Do you understand? Where are you going? Is this the direction that you're travelling? This down here?
Look, this is. I think is this a part of the school as well? This must be, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the main building?
Does this feel bigger?
This is the main. I think this is where the motherfucker. This is the main building. This is it here. That's the fort. No, it ain't. That ain't the fort.
There's a car, Jay.
All visitors.
Jay.
This is the bit. This is it all here, man. I remember all of this. It's just weird. I haven't been
Don't
here
let
for
us
so
see the
long.
camera. Pull it down, pull it down, pull it down.
We're in public property here.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. This is all public footways. Yeah, look, see what I'm saying? The building's massive. It looks like a house from the front. It's just like a prison. You go to a fucking prison, it looks like a house in the front, doesn't it? Look at that.
Yeah, and a nice house as well.
Yeah,
like,
look at
you
that.
wouldn't mind going living there.
This is where I crashed down here. At the top here to the right, there's going to be an X crossing up here. Go to the right, there'll be a field. You'll see where I crashed into the fence down here. These are the trees I used to climb up. These ones here.
These ones here.
These ones here, yeah. I used to climb up these. You see the wire going through the trees?
Yes.
See it there?
Yeah.
I used to swing off them like a monkey, mate. Literally, honest to God, I'd hold on to the. This is why I can't understand why I'm not dead. Yeah, because that's a fucking lot of electricity going through there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I used to stand, I swear to God, I used to stand on them trees and I used to swing back and forth off of this fucking cable there. And I used to bring it down. There used to be 2 of them together, yeah?
When they connect.
Yeah, they were sparking.
So Jay, if you just turn around and get a
So
look at
much
this
bigger
view.
than what I remember. So much bigger than what I remember. But you see what I mean by the fields, the ditches.
Yeah,
They used to make us, like summertime, yeah? They would do this thing called the ditch dive, yeah? Where you'd swim up the ditches.
Really?
Yeah, we'd run up these ditches. Like all of these kids, it's weird shit up here, man.
Do you think? Did you think that was fun at the time, or did you think like that was just torture in itself?
Do you know what I think? Yeah, this is what I think. This is the cunts here. This is the neighbour's house here. Yes, this is the neighbour's house, mate. Yeah, this is the neighbour's house, bro.
What?
There used to be
What
a
is?
fucking, there used to be like a caravan back there.
What's your feeling against this neighbour to the care home? Has it been equally as aggressive? The thoughts of walking past now, the neighbour that threw you away, and the place that abused you.
It's all in one and it's all the same.
It's all the same. Yeah. See, that's the damage. 29 years ago, this one man created so much hate that it's been put in the same cesspool as the scumbags that had tortured and abused Anthony at such a young age of 6 years old.
And it went on after that as well. I left here and it got worse.
How long was you here for?
I think I was here for 2.5, 3 years.
3 years of this, man. I couldn't imagine.
See what I mean? By
I
the
think you've
fields,
done
though.
well, mate.
Like the fields, it's just literally nothing. You run away from here, yeah?
Have these houses always been here?
Yeah, this is all here, but it's so
So
much
out of
bigger.
all of this land, there's only 3 houses. The care home, the neighbour, who threw him back over the fence,
There must be shit.
and one other.
Like the shit that I remember, yeah. It's got to be documented. Like it has to be. There must be other people that was in this care home with me that remember what I remember. There must be, man.
Yeah, you can't be the only one.
And Sarah, I remember Sarah. She was my mate, and I remember Leon. Leon was my pal as well.
Maybe we could try and reach out to them as well.
And Lisa was my mate. I feel sorry for all them kids, man. They were all.
So is this a mixed institute, boys and girls?
Boys and girls. This is the thing. This is what I don't understand yet, Paul. Yeah, you're putting a fucking bunch of kids that have suffered the worst categories of abuse. Why are you sticking them all together in a building and not doing it and not supervising them?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Especially as a mixed community as well.
Yeah, and kids that have been highly sexually abused are badly sexually abused, bro. That is fucking. They're gonna carry on doing what they're fucking being done to them.
Can you imagine the horrific ordeal that you went through of being abused as a boy? Can you imagine the abuse that a girl would have had to have gone through on a daily basis as well? Not saying that equally a girl was worse than a boy. I'm just saying
abuse is abuse.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah.
It don't matter if it's physical, emotional, or sexual. Abuse is abuse. It affects everybody. It doesn't matter if it's fucking a little slap in the chops or getting raped, mate. It affects everyone differently, innit? Some people. Do you know what? I tell you what, man. This place. I bet you a quarter of them people are dead. That was in that house that I was in. I bet you probably more than that, actually. They would have probably died from self-inflicted death, drugs, drink. It'd be a journey to find out how many people went into that care home when I was there that are still alive today.
Is there not a way that we could get a staff list of the people that work there? Surely there would be some internet.
The Freedom of Information
Act. Yeah.
We can possibly. I'll speak to John Wesner actually about that. See if he can give me out because he's the man at that shit.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to find out, because they all would have paid their taxes who worked there, so there would be registration to them being to be in there, and that way you can trace back to see if they're still or what they are, or even do you remember the names of the people?
Jeff. I remember Jeff. Richard was the manager. He was like a Nazi dude, mate. Yeah? I remember him had some big curly hair and a big moustache. It just reminded me of a Peter. Yeah, Richard his name was.
Not saying all men with moustaches and curly hair are pedos.
Yeah, but
this guy reminded me.
Because obviously I'm an older man now, I'm educated, I understand. Obviously these people are all different, innit? All different shapes and sizes, nonsense coming. But what I remember back on there were all like nonsense. Bare nonsense going off in this gaff, man. This is what the system, yeah? You'll work it out, yeah? You've got paedophiles looking after kids, yeah? In kids' homes. Yeah, these people are not gonna fucking document what they're doing to the kids. You've got people coming down. You know what I mean?
Should we walk back to if we go back on here, Joe, and then we walk back down, and then we can walk back down, and then we talk about
weird fucking places, isn't it? It's massive though, isn't it? See how big it is?
Yeah, do you know what it is? Like, even more so now, but you see, as an adult, it's big. Yeah, it's absolutely huge, but
do you know what's saddening right now? Do you know what's making my gut hurt right now, bro? What's that? There's bare kids in that home, yeah?
that the same thing is happening
That's
to.
feeling exactly how I felt years and years and years and years ago, mate. It's making me want to cry.
I can hear it in your voice.
I don't want to cry.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? No, yeah. But I'll tell you what. how you just said it, and we can edit this whatever you want, but this is your story and it's your way of raising awareness. Anthony has just said to me that he doesn't want to be seen as a victim. This is the kind of thing that we are here today to raise awareness on, is Anthony not feeling like a victim. You've got to remember, this was done to him on a level where he had no choice. Yeah, there is no no in a place like this for a child like Anthony at 6 years old. No one has listened to a child say no, especially when they know for a fact that the aggressor is doing something he shouldn't be doing, and that is the worst kind of physical abuse to a child that you could possibly do. That's made him still today, 29 years later, feel like a victim. Today, hopefully, coming back here, as you can tell, it's emotional. From that emotion, obviously, builds strength. And I'm hoping today that we have come here today to help Anthony build strength to be able to get to his next level of what he's trying to do here within his life. And that is the greater good.
You know, it is as well, yeah, obviously it gives other people an incentive to talk and deal with their own shit. Because I'm dealing with it, I've been dealing with it for years, mate. I still deal with it today. But obviously if I can deal with it, then other people can. So if my journey helps other people get through their shit, then that's what it's about, isn't it?
Now you tell me, just saying that, now you explain to me where the victim is in that. They ain't a victim, mate, that's a hero.
Yeah, someone that's
you understand?
Yeah.
You said there, we literally have walked 20 steps and you've gone from a victim to a hero. You explain that to me. It's opening a new door and shutting off and understanding that you are no longer a victim.
No, I'm not a victim.
20 steps and you've become a victim to a hero. Yeah? Now that's the power of what you're trying to do now. You should be pleased about that.
I am pleased,
Huh?
yeah. I am pleased.
Yeah?
But you know what it is, yeah? It's just that back in the day, innit? You know, you get them old thoughts and the old feelings crop up and it's just trauma, innit?
Listen,
Trauma,
that trauma, brother, is never ever gonna leave you. The awareness of understanding what happened to you and not accepting it, but opening.
I want to go and talk to them. I'm going to climb over the fence and go and have a little chat with them. You don't have to do it, it could be illegal, yeah, so if I can just film from the distance, innit? I'm going to go and speak to them and see if I can tell them who's living.
Why don't you press the buzzer and just
Yeah,
turn around and say that.
I was in care here. I was here 29 years ago. I want to have a look if they've still got the little fucking square room in the middle of the place that they had a pool in. It's a building, and they had a big square in the middle of it that had no roof, and there was a little paddling pool there. I want to know if that's still there. I don't know why. I don't even know why.
You got to remember though, if you do go in here, and all of them feelings turn into rage.
Nah, they won't. I've got it controlled now. Sadness in it. I'll have a tear up in it. I'll get home tonight and I'll cry my fucking eyes out, but I won't go mad, because if I go mad, one, I'll scare the life out of a load of poor little kids that don't need to see that, and two, I don't want to go back to jail.
Yeah.
But most importantly, there's little kids in here, and this is what we can't forget about this place. It looks after very vulnerable kids. There's a lot of traumatised children in this place. I don't know about right now, but that is a bloody big institute, mate. So, you know what I mean? They're using that building for something. It's still called the Mulberry Bush. Fucking however many, 1946 this place went up, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, done a little bit of research on it. I'm definitely more of a hands-on.
This is the house where this piece of shit picked me up. I'm telling you.
How old do you think he was when you was there?
He's probably dead now.
Yeah, I'd have to say so.
Yeah, but he was a horrible, horrible bastard, mate. Like, why would you pick a kid up like that? You know what this building is. This place is for sick kids, children. You know what I'm saying? Like kids, man. And then you pick up a fucking dog that's got its legs broken and kick it across the pavement. Of course you wouldn't. Why wouldn't you? Because it's a nice dog, isn't it? Yeah, but a child's the same.
I never understand how people do treat animals better than humans when equally they are the same.
A lot's changed. Like this car park and all that. I don't remember that car park being there. There used to be a field here. They used to keep horses there, and then they took the horses away. Yeah, I remember a lot about this place, man. It's all coming back now.
that will do, because you've shut it off for so long. When you come back, you're reopening wounds.
Yeah, proper.
So you say that you want to go in.
Yeah.
What are you going to go in for?
I just want to see the place properly, a bit closer up.
There will be a door with a reception that you're not allowed to go past.
Yeah, I know, that's good enough for me. Just going over the fence is good enough. They've made it look so nice now, though, like it's a nice little neighbourhood, but really and truly, what's going on in there?
The van.
Fucking place, man. Oh my god, it's exactly the same, man. It's the same. There used to keep a bike shed over there. There used to be a bike shed over there. We used to
The
keep
bike
our
shed's
bikes.
moved
Yeah.
over there now, where we just was.
Yeah, it used to be over here, man. The classrooms, they've got like porta cabins at the back. It used to be the education room, where we used to go and have what you call education. I don't know what kind of fucking education that was, but it was bloody good. Yeah, man. See the porta cabin sort of buildings there? They're like the
Bro,
education
the
buildings.
gate's open.
Yeah, come and just roll up in there, man.
Jack,
Yes, it is.
we're just going to go in here. Yeah, wait here for us, all right? Look out.
Basically, yeah, look, there it is here. This is the place, man. This is fucking crazy, man. Look at this, guys. I haven't been here for 29 fucking years, mate. 29 years, the Mulberry Bush school, you know. All the dormitories are upstairs, sit there. That's all the dormitories, bless them. Education was downstairs, you've got a little sports hall. We're gonna knock on the door.
Gonna knock, yeah?
Oh, yes. We've knocked. Right, I'm going to have to turn the phone off for a minute. I'll catch up with you lot in a bit.
Thank you, cheers. I got done by the gate. So,
That was eventful.
that was something
Man,
else.
That was crazy, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
was even here smiling like, what's that all about?
we've gone in. It's now running by new people. Looks like they've got their act together.
Yep.
It looks like they've really got their act together.
Yeah.
The whole area, which caused nothing
Did
but
you see
trauma for him.
She didn't deny anything.
Yeah.
I didn't have to say anything, did I?
No.
We've changed everything. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You know when you've got a manager of a place, because he's a manager, don't get twisted.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. You know when we've changed a lot.
I think he was an MD. Did he say he was an MD?
Yeah.
He was a really, really nice guy.
Very nice.
And I felt like when we was talking to him, so what happened is we went into the grounds, we managed to get in the door. We was invited in, so this is good. We didn't break no laws. We was invited into the building, and they done everything they could for us to be able to speak to someone within a managerial position. The guy come down, he's super nice guy.
Very nice.
Very friendly, and very open. And it felt like that. Even with Anthony's demons, he did speak to him about it, and I felt like he knew.
How I was
he knew
feeling.
exactly what Anthony had gone through, because he specifically said, the stuff that you encountered whilst you was here 29 years ago, we can assure you that that stuff doesn't happen anymore, because we put things in place to stop things like that happening. So how did that feel for you?
It feels strange, man, but you know what? It's nice to know. They will never put it in writing, because they'll have to pay out thousands and millions of pounds in compensation. But that was enough.
someone
Yeah. He just said sorry, bro.
Yeah.
He said sorry for our failings. No one's ever said sorry for nothing in this place up until now. That's massive for me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And the positive thing from this outcome is the change that has been created here for the children that are here now.
And that's what it's about, isn't it? Because what they seem to have done is they've seemed to have.
They
It
know
looks,
what
from
was
the
going on.
outside. It looks, yeah, they definitely knew what was going on. We know that, and the way he was speaking.
Yeah, it felt like that they 100% knew what was happening to the children like Anthony.
Yeah,
Back
the
there.
abuse.
They knew about the abuse. I feel like they have dealt with that situation and created a new environment. What happens here now is beyond our reach. We don't know. But all we can do is pray that it's not happening to anybody else.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming in today, bro, man.
No, thank you for letting us be a part of that journey. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Big time anyway, man. And you know what, bro, you're my power as well. And it's a pleasure of mine to come here, do this with you, and show all the other kids that they can do the same, man. And obviously, dealing with your traumas is the most important thing. This was one of the biggest traumas I felt in my life was created in this place here. Beyond that fence there was some of the worst times of my life, man.
Yeah,
and to come here now and see that they've made physical change. They've made massive changes here, but obviously they're never going to talk the nitty gritty because they'll have to pay out
but
millions.
You know now that he knew what was happening. So your secret that you've kept was never really a secret because they knew about it, they dealt with it, and they've changed it.
How many other kids are like me that's come out of this place, bro?
That don't know. So they have a Facebook page where they get all of the people that have been a part of this institution from 29 years ago and way back then. I think it was like 70 something, he said. From the 70s. They've now set up a Facebook. Once a year, they allow all of the ex-people who have been here to come back here, reconnect with people that were here. They do all sorts of things here, like they put on food. They take you around the place to show you where the old bits were, the new bits were. So that's good. So anyone that has been here to the Mulberry Bush, they can come back and they can see and they can speak. But know this, a lot has changed. A lot has changed. And I think the people that are now looking after it today have got the children's best interest at heart. Yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah. So the positive thing from this is change. And change is very important because without change, you're stuck in the past, and that's not good for anybody. Today, we've helped Anthony overcome one of his most haunted childhoods that he's ever had, and
it's pretty bad, man.
It's been able to. Hopefully, you'll be able to
close.
It's
closure, isn't it? It's closure. What it does, me coming here today, it allows me to look at the place again after so long and just accept what was it. It is what it was, mate. It's done. It's years ago, and you know what? The most important thing is that it's not happening anymore. And they're looking like they've done a change.
And you know what it is? Like coming here today, I come here with the same hate Anthony had. I've come here with the same hate Anthony.
I wanted to batter the neighbour earlier, you know.
Yeah, I know. I see that.
Really wanted
I
to
see
hurt
that.
him.
That's why I was standing on that side of you, so I could walk you out of that.
Really wanted to hurt him, bro.
But you know that all them feelings that you saw from the beginning of this to the end of this video, the journey is not over. We might come back on an open day, see how we get on. We might not. This might be enough. But right now, emotions are high. The physical things that Anthony has felt here, he feels like that now it's not the same. I feel like it's not the same either, and they've really got their head screwed on this time.
Changed, didn't it?
So big respect to the Mulberry for making the change that was needed, because 29 years of agony for this one man, and there's more than just one.
There's a lot of people that suffered bad times in this place, mate, but you know what? It's looking like they've made
it's okay. Thank you.
They've made a difference. They've made change.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
They've made a change, and it's looking like they really are generally trying to help the kids out here, man. And that's a nice feeling for me, isn't it? Because at least I know in my heart, well, I think I know that this ain't happening no more, and I don't know nothing, if I'm totally honest with you. They could have just chatted a load of shit to us, to be totally honest with you, but it's different.
It's very different.
It's very different.
It's very different to what I had in my head, and he's right.
Pictures on the wall, anyway. You've seen how different the place was then.
Yeah, the place had a remodel, not just physically, like visually. It's also with stuff as well. It's absolutely amazing. So, like I say, a big positive on that front, and absolutely brilliant. So yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah,
For coming,
good.
brother.
Nah,
man.
nice one. Cheers, man.
Take care. Sort that all out for you, mate.
So we just went down that path that we was walking down, where Anthony was talking about how he stole a car when he was younger. I do not know how a 9-year-old drove a car down there because
Getaway
I'm
driver
a
at
very
89.
experienced driver, and that was a mission. So we're at the location now. Tell them about it.
Right, so basically, this is the lane that we just come up. I was 9 years old. I'd done the Great Escape. I broke out of the place that was unbreakable. You couldn't get out of this gaff, and I got out of it about 2 o'clock in the morning. Stole their car, drove it down this lane. Didn't even know how to drive, but I drove it here anyway. I've turned right here and crashed straight into this fence, and I was here until about 6 o'clock in the morning. And then they some walkers come through here. They've seen me, little kid, smashed into the fence with this car. Next thing, they've gone down there, told the boarding school, one of your little lot are up there. So they've come down in a van, similar to this, but white. And yeah, that was it. I was gone. I got kicked out of their place then. And then just a minute ago when we was in there, they pulled up a file on me, and they were like,
yeah, that was really crazy. That was. Yeah, we literally were upstairs in the office. While we were up in the office, they must have been downstairs in the reception area, punched his name in and pulled up a list of everything of what he was on record there. And they actually started saying your address.
Yeah.
And it was an address that he went to after he was here.
Yeah.
So it was another care home that he went to. They lifted it up that he was there.
Elm Tree Lodge.
So Elm Tree Lodge was where you went straight after being here.
I went from here. First from here, I went straight back to London. I was in 4 Sheridan Road for about 2 weeks, and then I came. I got kicked off to Kent, and that's when all that shit happened in Kent. But yeah, this was the fucking place, mate. That it all started to really go wrong. It already went wrong way before that, but this is where it became institutionalized for me. That's when I started getting locked up. And I was properly locked up when I was here, but then I escaped. And I've always done that. I've always managed to escape. And this time I escaped properly from that life, that criminal life.
Yeah, so you physically escaped from the premises you were at, but mentally you were definitely imprisoned. 29 years have gone by, and I know we keep establishing 29 years, but the reason why I keep doing it is on a mental status that this is stuff that's happened to him when he was 6 years old. And physically ruined his life for 29 years. Now he's turned over a new leaf because he's had enough of being a prisoner. And with that, we have the Anthony Roberts that we've got today. Loving, caring, compassionate, family man that's pushing for the greater good. Now that has only come from him having the belief that what happened to him through his past was not his fault. And once he come to terms with that, he's been able to do a lot of charity stuff, a lot of positive things.
A lot of helping.
A lot of it. And just know, guys and girls out there, families like who have got children, the impact that you give them at such a young age, they will be mentally tortured with it.
Yeah.
So feed your kid with the right positivity, because the negative that you throw in their life will stick with them forever. Yeah. And the negative that will come from that will betray the outcome.
It's very simple, isn't it? It's like this, isn't it? Yeah. You torment and treat a child like a piece of shit. That child will grow up and treat everyone else like a piece of shit. And that's just how it goes, isn't it? So if you treat your children with love, respect, dignity, and you treat them like human beings and love them. Love don't cost nothing. Love is free. It's the freest thing on earth, mate.
I always find
and no one gets enough of it.
and I always find like it's so easy to get the things you can't afford because everything's on tick.
Yeah.
Everything's on tick.
Yeah.
You want a nice house, you get that.
Yeah.
You'll do whatever it takes to get that. You want money in your pocket, you'll do whatever it takes to get that. You'll give up on the one thing that you can't get back, time. You'll do everything to waste that.
Yeah.
But the things are free. Love, respect, manners.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard to be able to put across to people? All that shit is free.
Yeah.
And for some reason, you find it easier to cause negative in your life, get in debt, cause pain, give massive friction. But the one thing that's free, for some reason, is the hardest thing for you guys to give. It's important. It's very important that you do one positive thing a day because it will help change someone's life. My today is doing one thing positive. It's changing Anthony's life, which he would then in turn change thousands of other people. Yeah. It's very important to create positivity. Yeah. Brother, It's been a massive honour. One, knowing you
Yeah, man, me too.
and becoming friends,
Definitely.
family,
100%.
but helping you get through this.
It's
It's been as important for me as it has been for you today.
No, I appreciate that.
Nah, man, I appreciate you.
He's a
Love,
good guy,
man.
this one, man.
Nah, man, it's all good. It's all good.
Places,
Yes.
100%.
A day of mixed emotions today with Anthony Roberts. We ended up going to the care home where he was physically abused to a point what set him on a path of destruction for the rest of his life till today. Anthony was abused, he was sexually assaulted, he was everything that you could think of not wanting to be for you as a person. Now this is a care home, the system that's there to place vulnerable and naughty kids back into the system to be able to help them progress to a more positive lifestyle. But for Anthony, this was not true. For Anthony, this was a house of destruction, a nightmare, a place what twisted Anthony's mind for the better part of his childhood going into his adults. And because of this, Anthony committed crimes that were devilish, that were just absolutely crazy. Armed robbery, bank robbery, firefights with police, all stuff that is all caused from trauma as a child from this place. 29 years had passed. I'd done a podcast with Anthony talking about this. I didn't know the extent of the damage that it would have caused for him, so I offered my help to go back to this care home. He'd never been back there. On arrival to the care home, I'd seen Anthony was anxious, as you'd see in the filming from before. From getting out of the vehicle, automatically it went from being vulnerable to being on edge, really aggressive, you know. His mannerism, everything was like on the back foot. I couldn't understand and I couldn't get in my head how you could go from one to the other in like literally seconds. And it just goes to show that there must have been so much pain there for Anthony to be able to jump from emotion to emotion, you know, from vulnerable to aggression to breaking down in tears, you know. And with this, as you can tell, we had an option of going into the premises, which we did. We wasn't allowed to film in that, but what happened whilst we was in there blew my mind. On arrival to the gates, we entered the premises. The closer we got to the doors of the place, I see Anthony's personality change again. He went from aggression, emotional distress to a childlike status of, I remember when there was a swimming pool there. I remember when we used to play there. I used to climb in them trees. And it was really hard to adjust myself to what was going on here. Only to later on, I realised that this guy had been through so much that his mind was trying to manifest everything that happened to him all in the space of half an hour. And this is 29 years of trauma all happening at once in front of my very eyes. Seeing him bounce from emotion to emotion to emotion must have had an insight, a taste of what it must have been like for Anthony growing up in this world and trying to adjust within what was going on from his day to day. And I can understand why he didn't function properly in society like how me and you would. You know, we got in there and it was really weird because everything that Anthony had stated about the place, it was the total opposite. It was beautiful, it was well decorated, it was changed. The people were polite, they were well mannered, they were dressed, and they were eager to help us with the questions that we had to ask about what happened to Anthony and what happened with the place, what happened to him, and what happened to many other people that was there with Anthony. And then from this, we had a state of play. What do? Do we say to them, you know, you're the ones that abused me? No, you couldn't say that. But because of that, yeah, we couldn't say it because the people that abused Anthony, the people that Anthony entrusted his childhood to, they were no longer there. And because of that, it was, how can I put, it shocked Anthony because he was expecting to go back into this house of horror. And there was no house of horror there. Or was there? See, the thing you've got to remember is when anyone wants to put a mask on anything, you can cover up the hatest of crimes. Yeah? So is child abuse still happening in this place? We don't know. Is trauma happening within this place? I can't say.
because from the outlook and the staff that helped us out this day, it seemed like a place you would like to go. It would seem like a place you would like to live, which was very different from how Anthony had lived and he'd caused trauma from this place. You know, has this place changed? I hope for the sake of the children, and I hope for our visit and this video, it truly has changed. Because if there is no change there, then we will be looking at more future of destruction from this place. And with that, I will feel sorry for anyone that has to cross paths with any of these kids in the future through trauma in this place. I hope it's changed. I hope that today has helped Anthony out massively. And I truly, truly hope that us turning up there and visiting the place, that they are aware of the trauma that happened to Anthony and that they will make a change for the future for these kids. We can only hope and pray.